Yet another zombie survivors. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words. On Steam. The horde is coming, but you're ready to fight it. Assemble your team and decide upon their enhancements to find out the most efficient synergies against thousands of the undead. Survive, then evolve, then break all the limits in this deceivingly simple but addictive reverse bullet hell. Yes guys, it's another Vampire Survivors clone. That genre, which has no name. Is it bullet hell? Not really. Is it Auto Battler? Well, not really. Maybe it's Auto Battler Bullet Hell Walk Around Casual. Just rolls off the tongue. It's one of them games. It's a game where you have to strategize your team, your build. It's all about the build. To get the build, you have to unlock it. This is where the difficulty comes in and the grind as well, because in this game you have 6 characters unlocked. It's in early access at the moment. And the 6 characters are completely different. You've got a tank, high hit points, shotgun, and he has some upgrade enhancements you can get. You have a katana wielding guy who has high DPS. We have an engineer who is just awesome. He has this crazy shield and a Tesla ray. You have a medic, which I haven't quite unlocked yet. You've got an army guy. You've got 6 guys. You've got 6 guys. And you only get the base abilities until you have proven yourself with them on the battlefield as leader. So you select each one in turn to unlock their shit. Now once you've unlocked the shit you want, you then decide which one you want to unlock their good shit. The really stinky stuff. Because that's the stuff that wins the game. It's the smelly ones that you've got to really unlock. I chose Engineer because he has this amazing shield. This shield is it protects you and does shit tons of damage as well, and you can upgrade it I think 5 or 6 times. So in order to unlock the really stinky stuff, you have to play that character. So you pick your character, you start the map off. There's only one map at the moment, but there's sort of placeholders for a lot of maps, so hopefully soon we will get an update with more maps, because the map that you get's pretty bland, to be honest with you. And it's the usual stuff. You kill a zombie and he drops a little basic jewel, and that jewel contains XP. You pick up the jewel, you get a little bit of XP in there. When you fill your XP bar, you can then choose an ability which is randomly thrown at you of the abilities that you've unlocked. It might be an upgrade to an ability you already have, or it might be another ability. Now what you have to be careful in these games is that you do not dilute the pack, as the saying goes. What that basically means is if you want to really get your main weapon juiced up, then you do not want to pick cards that have different weapons on, because what will happen is you will start getting options to upgrade them all the time. So your best bet with this game is to just stick with the cards that you've got to upgrade the weapons that you want, then start picking different abilities. Now every now and then you will get a survivor that needs rescuing. When you go to that survivor, that gives you the option to bring in one of the other guys you could have selected at the beginning. Remember I said there's the katana guy, there's the medic, there's the tank. They will appear in game, and if you pick one of them, you can only have 3 in the game, they will stand next to you and all their abilities will be upgradable and automatically used by the AI. So you'll double whammy, double the hit points, double the firepower, and you can do that for up to 3 characters. And that's where your synergizing builds come in, because you've got to think what works well. It's my personal build is the assault rifle with the GI guy, the power shield with the Tesla, with the engineer, and katana face, which I'm currently leveling up. And you just run around fighting bosses. It gets progressively harder and harder. It ramps up. There's power-ups to pick up and stuff like that, and you've got to survive and unlock. And as with all of these type of games, it does have that roguelite element that each go you have will get progressively easier, because you can put persistent, permanent buffs into your game. You'll see $ as you run around. If you collect enough of them $, you will get points, and these points will go into the big perk tree. It's quite a decent sized perk tree, and these are persistent. These stay. Even if you lose the game, when you start the next game, these points stay there, so that you'll have that little bit more health, that little bit more firepower, that little bit more crit chance. There's a ton of them to actually help you on your way. Now, what made these games fantastic with Vampire Survivors was each map progressively led to a different map, and you would unlock something on one map that would unlock on another map, and then you would have to find certain bosses hidden on other maps. And it all entwined together brilliantly, and that game was $3.99. This game's £6, £7, £8. So the developer clearly thinks that this game is way better than Vampire Survivors, and it's just not. I am shocked at the price of this game. Thankfully, he sent me a key so I didn't have to buy it, but my goodness, this is way overpriced because it's not as good as Vampire Survivors, has only a fraction of the content of Vampire Survivors, and I know Vampire Survivors is finished, but when Vampire Survivors first launched in early access, it had about 10 times the content of this game. I think it's a bit cheeky considering there's very little content here to be flogging it at the price that it isn't worth the money. It's a good game, don't get me wrong. I'm really enjoying it. I've done stupidly amount of hours. I've done 7 hours in this today, but that's because I've had a shit day with me toothache, and I had to go for a blood test this morning. I couldn't get any. They were sticking us in both arms, then my hand to try and get it. So I was a bit pissed off with all that. I feel like a bloody pincushion. I haven't had the greatest of days. So yeah, probably not the best of moods to be playing anything that takes real brain power. So this game fitted perfectly into my diary today. So should you buy it? Well, if you like Vampire Survivors and you have the money, I say yes, you should buy it because it's a fun game. I just think it's overpriced. But considering the price is still low, relatively speaking, for a video game, it's, I just think it's cheeky. If it holds this price when it's finished and it ends up with a lot more content, then fair enough. That's exactly right. Good on you. We'll see. So there you go, guys. Yet another Zombie Survivors. A bullet hell, casually run around, auto battling, strategic, get your builds right genre game. It's decent.